I can't wait till I leave this place. No job, no university, no going out. And they are saying via the microphones and the window. My mom says, you are the Muslim TV and the Muslim model. And they're saying shower every few minutes and they change your clothes. There is a new word in the dictionary. It is called demore. And it is like uh, doing high maintenance to your uh, to being sophisticated in your appearance and your greatness and smelling good and dressing and like this. It is for me. I dress, I shower actually, and I attend to myself very much. When I am going outside, I am locked. I am locked inside the house, and every few minutes, they my mom saying you are the Muslim TV and the model, and she said I bought my clothes. They say he's a fornicator, sodomizer, accused of pedophilia, and he does black magic. And my mom says I bought my clothes for the mosque, and they say El Mosque wants you. Imagine imagine they want me to become a sex slave of the neighborhood and the mosque. She says I don't go anywhere. I bought my clothes for the mosque, and they say cars will come, you will be taken, the bride must be ready. I want her barefooted and naked. And she says I bought my clothes for the mosque. She's obsessed with the there is nothing. The house is empty. There is only sitting room. A sitting room. It was bought when an American guy, a living room and the sitting room. It was bought when an American guy from America proposed to my UN sister. To my UN sister. It was this sitting room and the living room. It was bought when they proposed to the UN sister. $1 billion, the beloved of the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians. All of them threaten me with their mom and sister Sanfeber, and they say you will never graduate, you will never work. And she says I am going to open a shop and a Quranic school. She wants to sell me. I'm telling the entire world. They already know this about them. They want to sell me to a criminal accused of pedophilia, of sodomy. He gang raped me with the entire neighborhood. My mom gave him my bed's room, keys, and day and night. All of them, they were sodomizing me. And they want to solve their issues, and they are saying we are going to open shops and Quranic schools. I can't wait to leave their nation and their house and never see them again. I am with them because I am poor. I don't know how on earth did God make them rich. God did not make. I came across yesterday, last night before I sleep, a documentary. TikTok is the most beautiful thing. It is the greatest social media app on the planet Earth. It is inshallah, Americans, I don't know, maybe Americans, if they buy it, they will ruin it. There is craziness going on in the world. At least TikTok, not only craziness, evilness occurring in the world. People are living, do you know, the greatest life on the planet Earth. I came across Americans, Asians, Africans from everywhere, on Europeans. People are living the life of their dreams. People on TikTok, people are living a life of their dreams. It is the end of times on all the other social media apps, like this Donald Trump that is saying we will be giving criminal aliens $1,000, and we created an app for them. Just to fill the application, and we will be giving for you $1,000, and he speaks about Alcatraz, and nobody have ever escaped Alcatraz. It was miserable, it was sad, it was deadly, it was like that. And we know the only man who tried to escape Alcatraz, and he is with, I don't know, the NBA or the NFL, something in the American sports, whatever. And he says the only man who tried to escape Alcatraz, he was killed by deadly sharks, and nothing remained from him except his clothes, and I don't know. And it is like something catastrophic. TikTok, it is not like this. The people there, especially Americans, Europeans, Asians, Africans, people live a billion trillion dollar life. I came across an American families, they live, even they are middle income, they live like billionaires. I want to become like this. What is this? There is no life in this place. And Jeremy Powell says about Trump, he doesn't want to take credit for anything, but I will give him the credit of this. There will be, because of the trade war he is doing, there will be the greatest catastrophe inside America. And go and watch the reporters. It is as if it is doomsday. Reporters, and they are laughing. Do you know? Like my mom one day I was watching comedy movie. Because they don't, in this place they don't laugh, because they do the stuff that is forbidden and satanic. I was watching a comedy movie like 1 year ago, and my mom came and she fought with me, and she's saying currently she's mad. I don't know who is she talking about. And she's washing a toilet. She's inside of the toilet washing a toilet. Everybody is inside of the toilet washing the toilet. I don't know who is this mad, well, the mad person. I have no idea. And I was watching a comedy movie. The neighbors came and she said, and there was an Oromo maid. They are criminals. They are brought by the international community, and they are brought by the international and the local criminal network is Muslims, Jews, and Christians. All of them, they even beat me, and they gave me a deadly, not deadly, يعني a catastrophic public ulcer, and they said المosques and everybody, the neighbors, because you're just doing haram. I hate this mosque. They are haram doers, and they insult me and say, and he says, I want you inside my mosque, and he says about me, mad whore retard. He is the social media born hub. It is, for me, it is very painful waking up every day and knowing I am still with them. والله العظيم. ده يعني ده ايه ده is بلاء. That is the greatest بلاء. Every day waking up knowing I am still in captivity with this neighborhood, with this family, with this relatives, with this nation. No money, nowhere to go, no job, no university, no going outside of the house. This is the greatest بلاء and ابتلاء. And I was watching. I am having tea. Among my morning routine, I apply for things I study, and I love news so much, and I go via news. And they hate news. They love Pornhub movies. They are social media Pornhub. They are surveilling me and saying, we are awaiting for the prayers. There is something we want you to do. It is not yet done. I'm watching يعني news and writing articles and hiding from them, because they are telling me everything that I am doing inside the room. And they tell me even if I in channel I am watching I don't know what does my brother is want humanity. They beat me, they did horrendous stuff to me, and they are surveilling me, and they keep me locked in the house, and they allied with everybody. I don't know what they want from me. I am watching the news. Even they are surveilling me and telling me about it. what do what do they, even my brothers, am I like واحدة ست غريبة? Are they going to flitter with me and date with me? What do they want from my brothers? Are they going to flitter with me? يعني هيغزلوني وهيعملوا معايا rendezvous? What do my brothers even want from me? And Elmir, what does everybody, what does they want from me? And I watching comedy movie, and she came and she said, it is about time, it is about time. She will be lucky. She will be lucky. Neighbors are saying she was laughing. Imagine, she came and she said she's mad. She brought me 2014 and she said to me, those neighborhood, 2014, she said, they want to take you to a place like a jail, like a mental asylum, like a secret basis, and they want to keep you locked there to gang rape you forever. My mom said, because you refuse doing haram. And they don't come near anybody from my family. Nobody does anything to them. 2014, my mom said, you were brought to this place by your sisters, your relatives, everybody, because you are a woman who refuses evil, and they have a finale for you. You will be locked in a place and you will never be heard and seen again. And I am telling the entire planet Earth, rescue me from all my sisters and brothers. One day, they say we will open our shops, we will open. And last night the doctor was insulting me. They are using stuff. There is something they use inside this house. It is via a local and international, and the mosques and the entire place is like this. My mom is using it, and my doctor sister uses it in an instant. And the UN sister, and the brothers and everybody, and the neighborhood and the mosques, everybody has this stuff. And so Somaliland use it. It is like a spray. They spray something for it. It is used by kidnappers and those who work for international criminal enterprises. It is like a spray, and you will go unconscious, and your memory will be erased. I swear by God's name. My three sisters use it, my brothers, my mother, il Oromo Neres, il mosques, il neighbors, and everybody. It is given by international criminal enterprises. It is something they do. It makes you unconscious, and then in memory erases. I am reporting them to entire planet Earth, and they can compel you into any evil and record you, do anything to you and record you, and even make a confession of you, a confession. The entire day we are inside like a smoke that is being awaited. The entire day we are like this. I am locked 3 years inside the house, and this is what is occurring to me. It is like awaited smoke from a Sistine Chapel. Black smoke. Cardinals have not yet elected the Pope. White smoke means and the dove, the Pope has been elected. I live in this يعني a Holocaust camp like this. Everybody with Jeremy Bauer, reporters, they were making a smile of criminals who kidnap innocent, known by my family and relatives of this neighborhood and this nation, to unknown places. It is laugh of the mafia and the cartels, الcartels, الgangs of that is Trump and his administration are talking about. Everybody loves this اللي هو الكريمنال laugh. Reporters inside his FOMC, Federal Reserve meeting, and they said there is no red cuts. Everybody is smiling ill, especially it is a smile. It is laughed by my sisters and my brothers and the neighborhood and Emir and Nixonzi and the mother and everybody. It is a mafia smile. If you know what we are about to do to you, if you know what we are about to do to you, and they say they are coming, and they said, they said Jeremy Powell, it is going to be stagflation, no growth, because of the trade wars, no employment, and very high inflation. Because and they are saying everybody everywhere, this is the presidency of it is, and they are avoiding saying this, the presidency of the empty shelves. And he says, like he's saying, don't buy billions of dollars, buy $2, and he shows us his golden mansion, like when Martin Luther of the Reformation movement went to the papacy, and he said this is not the version of the Christianity. She's making her hypnosis. I saw this in a movie, I swear by God his name, a movies of the criminals. They make a song of hypnosis. She makes chants. She said a little kid, Aram kid, is brought by the mosque. He's a black magician. They make sounds of Malkatra. He works for the international and local criminal enterprises. And they are saying it is the presidency of the empty shelves, and lots of those billionaires and people in the financial and economic and in the business sector markets. They are making talks with Trump. This trade war is going. You went to, what is it called? A war on terror, 20-something years. 20-something years. And you ruined America and ruined entire planet Earth. Treasure blood and everything, and the land, it was lost. And a few weeks, well, a few months, I am locked in a house 3 months, 3 years. No job, no university, and the Americans are crying. No money, my entire life, and like this, and you are in war of terror 20-something years. Few weeks, few months, you are crying from this tariff thing that is occurring. Even, do you know, Russia became billionaire from the sanctions. Currently, among your American politicians and American media and American writers and everything and podcasters, they are lying to you. Russia became billionaire or trillionaire nation. The highest reserve in gold belongs to China and Russia. America doesn't have the highest reserve in gold It belongs to China and Russia. And China, because of of uh, of the sanctions, is among the wealthiest, most richest nation on planet Earth. There is there is no. It is when you hear reports about China suffering, this is hoax. This is hoax. Nobody nobody is nobody is suffering. He is even giving Putin to families like millions of their currency rubles. What is it called? Whatever their currency is, and he is telling a family, a warrior mom, you must we are Russian slave people slave people numbers are declining. You must be producing in high amount of numbers, and he is giving families that have children like other nations around the world in Asia. He is giving them money to overpopulate in Russians. So he's saying he is going to become a president. They are saying he's the presidency of the empty shelves, of the trade war, of the stagflation, or of whatever. And they elected a pope from Chicago. Chicago, Chicago is the place of. It is one of the worst. Trump talks about Chicago day and night. It is one of the worst American states. American states. There is a heinous smell in the house. It is like this thing I told you about. It will send you into unconsciousness. I swear by God's name. They send you into unconsciousness via the smells in this house. Chicago is one of the worst of the American states. It has a highest amount of poverty, of unemployment, of a nation, the state of Milton Friedman, and the Chicago School of Economics of Thomas Sowell of Milton Friedman, of the most beloved libertarian economist. Or many dictators. He was even he's a Jew. He was even a theorist of the economies of Latin America, of many nations like Argentina, Chile, I don't know, lots of places. Lots of dictators in Latin America, they used theories, and even he was of the theories of Milton Friedman, and he was economic theorist of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan and many other American presidents, and he was a god that the Republicans and the conservatives loved. I wrote about him, about this Milton Friedman. He says a markets are free, but the people are, he say, even Aunt Chomsky talks about him. The only freedom that exists for the Republicans is the freedom of the billionaires, of the elites, and of the markets. And people are slaves, factory workers, and the elite class and the billionaires. They have the right to exploit everybody till death, make money from anybody via any means, legal, illegal, ethical, unethical, unethical. And he talks about there is, and he has a book called this Milton Friedman. If you know my laptop, there was a rare book. This laptop, it was like the library of the Congress. In neighborhood, I was writing an article. They said every day you are studying. Who said you will find a job? Who said you will find a job? You will find a university. If you know in rare books in this, and the rare research papers and articles and stuff in this laptop, they broke it, just like they gave me severe disability. There was an ancient book about all the economists I am unable to find, even I am unable to find a downloading link. There was a rare book about all the economic policies, of all the economic policies I was reading and writing about. I had even an article about the Trump tariffs, a written article inside it about the Trump tariffs. I was even, there was a material I was writing from on the tariff and the trade wars, ancient material, ancient material. I was reading even and writing an article about this this book, this book, how rich countries, about this book, how rich countries got rich and why poor countries stay poor. And he's talking about the economic policies that made and the financial policies and the colonization and stuff like that. And I was writing that day about those stuff in neighborhood and the mosque and everybody. It was during Ramadan. They broke it suddenly. It suddenly something occurred. A laptop. I was writing an article about this book, about why nation is fail. This guy who won the Nobel Prize in economics, James Roberts, and I was reading an article written by Bill Gates, criticizing why book why nation is fail, and he's talking about exclusive and the inclusive societies, and he is talking about Thomas Jefferson, and he make patent institution for the American patent, and America and the West are not like Zimbabwe, where people are buying even he won a lottery. Not only did he buy a presidency, and he's talking about Robert Mugabe. He's even the luckiest man who won a lottery in Africa. In Africa, Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe. This book of Why Nations Fail. Why Nations Fail. It was written by two guys, two economists and financial scientists. And I was reading all of this and continuing writing an article about, I written it about the trade wars and the trade tariffs and the embargo, and I don't know, and reading this and billions of other stuff and in psychology, philosophy and everything in neighborhood via the microphones and the windows set. Kill the laptop, in mobile. A laptop is dead. Every day you are writing, reading, studying, praying, worshipping. You are not locked inside the house for this. And they did something. Electricity went off. Electricity went off. Electricity went off, and then it came back, and the laptop died. And the laptop died. I was watching a documentary on the Vatican and how it became rich via indulgences that it sells. Folk is coming. We don't have this. Allah says, I live under surveillance. I live under surveillance. I don't talk inside my room. I don't make any confessions with. They say even while I am bathing, I bath wearing my clothes. If anybody tells you I did talk inside my room or something, it is like this Trump Bob photo. It is Photoshop, like they are saying about about what is it, MS-13 Garcia that was deported to El Salvador. There is no image for me. There is no audio for me except this live Facebook. It is Photoshop, and we are in the age of the AI. They are even saying it will take over all the news anchors. What is the guy? El guy of CEO of Microsoft this Asian guy, and the CEO of Google. They are saying even media and sector will be taken by AI. It is a lie. Am I going to, even I cannot listen to an audio book? There is robots reciting a books on YouTube. I swear by God's name, I cannot. This human, there is nothing that will ever take in place of humans. I even cannot listen to the robot reading reading a book on YouTube. Imagine, I cannot listen to the book audio book of a robot. It is on YouTube. Even if I am listening to an audio book, it is once read by humans on YouTube. On YouTube. And they are saying uh, it is great that lots of criminals in media are replaced. I went via a tiny. I hate among the most hated shows for me is this Mika and Joe. They are the most despicable creatures on planet Earth. They are the most heinous, the most despicable. I despise them. I despise them. I don't know whom on earth pays them billions of US dollars. It is about time they become broadcasters. Are we stuck with them? Everybody vanished. Everybody vanished. And everybody, even I am locked in a home, no job, no university, no life of any kind. We are, what is this? It is like an Orthodox marriage. There is no divorce in the Orthodox marriage. You know this? Unless, it, and the wife does not. I had Orthodox friends when I was studying at the American University. They loved me so much in Orthodox at the American University. And some of them, they talked to me about their husband is cheating on them. And they said, we cannot take a divorce. In the Orthodox, there is no divorce. Christian Orthodox. And she said, I live with a husband who is a cheater, but I cannot go to the court because it is in our religion. A woman, even if her husband is Orthodox Christian cheats on her, but he can take her to court or whatever place and say and take her kids and doesn't pay her money as his divorced wife with kids. Wallah, it is called what? اللي هو النفقة as a divorcee and give her يعني whatever it is called for those that divorce one another. He doesn't give her any money ولا the kids will in it because he just went to the Christian Orthodox church and he hated his wife and he wants to avenge from her. All he has to say is she cheated on me. El Christian Orthodox, he just goes to the church and to the court and says she cheated on me, and then he pays no money wala to her wala to the children wala anyone, and he can imprison her and do whatever he wants to her. And my Orthodox female friends at the university, some of them said our husbands cheat on us, but we are Orthodox, we cannot divorce. We are stuck with Mika and Joe. Everybody became broadcasters on planet Earth, and we are stuck with this Mika and Joe. And they are paid billions of US dollars. Yesterday they brought a tiny second. They brought a guy was holding his hands as in captivity. He's one of the most decent human beings on planet Earth. Is Steve Ratner. He's an economist. He is a professor. He's a poor. Don't say miskin. I hate the word miskin. It is used by the criminals. He is a decent guy. He's an innocent creature. Is he like this Genghis, Mika and Joe? He's not like this Genghis. And he was like a hostage. And he's talking about what is going to occur to the American economy. And another criminal enterprise, Willie Geist, a despicable creature, Mika, Joe, Jonathan Lemire, the only decent guy, another old guy, Michael, what is his name, the old guy, he is a retiree, they bring him every now and then, Michael, برينيكال ولا مايكل برينيكي whatever his name is. Sometimes the whole house is filled with stuff. His name is something Michael, an older guy. He is a very great grandfather, and they brought this creature Ezra Klein, and they are talking about nothing is functioning in America, and shit does not function in America. Function in America, and they are talking about, and they wrote an article about this despicable creature. GD fans, despicable creature. He has actually, he has, I told you, I researched via his material, via very, يعني before only one debate he did. I thought because he did an interview with Megan Kelly, and he talked about his miserable childhood. I hate him so much. And he talks about his alcoholic mom. And he يعني it is not يعني, and he says I am the product of my mother, my grandmother, about my, I am the product of my grandmother. And he was brought by this Megan Kelly, and he was very obese, and he looked like يعني disoriented, confused, and he was begging everybody to go to the inner circle. It is like, I don't know what is fee they pay to become among the elitists. I don't, the only thing I know is hard work. It means hard work, becoming a greatest individual. And he's talking again at Munich Security Conference, and they are saying to him, we are out of time. Fucking zift. What fucking time? Reclaiming my time, I don't have time that expired. Expired what? 50 years I am in this fraud and deception and manipulation. This is like the greatest plot on planet Earth. Everybody became a billionaire, and we are still reading and studying. What reading and studying? 50 years reading and studying, and then what? No job, no university. Look, in 3 years in the house. This is worse even than the COVID. And they are talking about Ohio is known by via he comes from a place called Appalachia. It is well known that it is one of the places that it is like Detroit. It was once upon a time an American dream. It is something in this book. It is what technology did. It is in this book. He talks about the Zik. He says Los Angeles, a French ولا a European a European a European, what is his name? A European philosopher. He talks about Los Angeles, and he says nothing is real about Los Angeles except it is exaggerations. This is what, do you know? It is industrial revolution, a technology revolution. What it did to nations and the cities and the states, American or others around the world. Even Samsung, he talks about how Samsung, this book, he talks about Travel in Paradise. This was the only book. And he talks about a suicide, youth suicide in South Korea, and the elderly suicide in South Korea. They even the monarchy, they brought them, and I don't know. King Charles says I don't know anything about South Korea or whatever. And he says nothing is real. Ohio is one of the states like Chicago. It has a highest rate of unemployment, of an addiction, of murder, black on black murder, black on black murder, and the whites are killing them. And Ohio is no different, and Ohio is worse. It is a criminal enterprise. And Appalachia, ghost cities, empty houses, everybody escaped it, and there is nobody. There is actually a documentary saying billions of of Chinese people are what is China hiding about everybody on what is China hiding from everybody on planet Earth? How billions of Chinese went missing? I don't know. Are they in slave factories of the Uyghurs? Are they sexually enslaved? Are is their organs harvested? There is currently a documentary 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, there is a documentary. It says what is China hiding from everybody on planet Earth, and Americans are there, and Europeans are there, and Chinese are talking about this. El ghost towns and cities in China. Billions of Chinese folks went missing. Nobody knows where where the Chinese state took those people. Billions of people are missing in China. And they are saying, what is China hiding from everybody? And Americans are reporting, Europeans are reporting, Chinese are making documentaries. Like this Appalachia and Ohio and I don't know, empty towns, empty cities, empty provinces in China, and there is nobody there. Just el houses, and nobody is there. El belongings are there, el stuff is there, but el people, I don't know where did el Chinese state took them. Empty provinces, and they are saying billions of Chinese citizens are missing. Where did the Chinese state take those individuals to? And he is again in this Dayton, and they are saying German criminals. I applied how Europeans did this to me. All the organizations operating in Somaliland are funded by the Americans and the Europeans. I am unable to find work. And they are talking to him and saying, we are in a rush, hurry, I don't know. And they are talking, it is well known via a Dayton agreement, and you came as a senator, and you came as I don't know, and they are talking with this. He went again there. Munich Security Conference again, because NATO, well, I don't know, the Europeans are meeting again in June, and he is talking with them about Ohio and the Dayton agreement, and I don't know. After he said to them, "You are not a democracy, and the fear you have is your citizens, This Chicago, it is like this Chinese provinces they are talking about. They are saying China emptied everybody, billions of people, and it took them to unknown places. Maybe in the indoctrination camps of the Uyghurs. And in this book, he talks about what Samsung and technology did. This is among the greatest books on planet Earth. He met Zizek is not himself, and he married a journalist from Eastern Europe. Is she also a Slovenian? She was a journalist, and she helps him in his philosophy work. She's a prominent figure. In English, they did something. They did something. They did something. They did something to. They did something to Zizek. Slovak, Slovak Zizek. Mika and Joe brought the Ezra Klein, and they are saying to him, as if he is Moses, he's going to deliver them out of the land of slavery. They are mocking him and they are saying nothing is functioning inside America. And he's talking about his book he wrote with a what is the guy is on Twitter and he is a scientist, a very well-known figure, a political scientist and a writer and an economist. His name is what? They co-authored a book and they are talking about this book. Farid Zakaria was talking to John Meacham, who wrote an article. My friend, my friend Joe Biden, you have taken so much. This is the time for you to give. And he is saying, give the presidency to Kamala, and go into the abyss, and into ob- oblivion, العدم. This is a word I learned from a book for Hannah Arendt. She talks about this العدم. They wanted الجوز neither dead nor alive. She says in the origins of totalitarianism, she says they took their jobs from them, they took their property from them, they took their status from them, and they deprived them from everything. It is like this senator who's saying, 83 years I am serving the American administration. What do you want from me? This Mika, what do they know? This Mika, she doesn't even deserve to be a daughter of Brzezinski. As if her father was great. Her father now was another satanic creature. He is the guy who theorized a war on terror. But he loved the Palestinians. He says, he comes into the show and he says to Joe Scarborough, you don't know nothing. Go and read and study. And he says to him, Yasser Arafat was sold out by the Arabs, by the Muslims, when he made Oslo Treaty and the Oslo Agreement. It could have been amended and this and that could have occurred to it, and this would have been done. And he says to him, Joe Scarborough argues with him, and then in a يعني بنبرة احتقار he says to him, Brzezinski, go and read and study. You know nothing, Joe Scarborough. It was not like this, because he was he has a documentary, her father, about how he ruined entire planet Earth, just like this Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu is in a hearing in after or before 9/11, and he's talking about Saddam Hussein, and he is like he's very obese, and he's talking and he's theorizing with the American administration. It was before even September attacks, and he's talking to, and even at that time before September attacks, they are saying we are out of time, and he is saying to him, we must like Condoleezza Rice, creative chaos, الفوضى الخلاقة. He is saying we must take out all those Middle Eastern and Islamic dictators and bring youth who do not want to die, اللي هو young presidents and young monarchies, young monarchies who يعني are addicted to indulgences and luxurious lives and whatever, and bring them, and we must get rid of all those likes of Saddam Hussein, the dictators and stuff like that, and he is saying Saddam Hussein is a threat not only to the Middle East and not only to Israel. He is a threat. His likes are a threat to the United States of America. And even at that time, they are talking about it. It was before. It was before September attacks. The Americans and the Israelis and everybody on planet Earth are saying to one another, we are running. They are not they are still there. Everybody, it is time up for them. But anybody but them, they never run out of time or wealth or status or anything. This is it. This occurs to the slaves, and he's saying we must get rid of everybody in the Middle East. It is before it is September attacks. Before it's September attacks. I am searching for this philosopher who is saying nothing is real about Los Angeles except its exaggerations. I am scared from this book because those who commit crimes against humanity, they use it to carry around this book. Those who commit crimes against humanity, against me, they use it to carry around this book. I am applying for stuff abroad and I am unable to find anything. And they want to impose evil upon me. No job, no university. And my mom says, I bought the clothes for the mosque. What is this? I bought the clothes for the mosque. I bought my clothes to beautify myself and when I am going out and for job and university. What is this? What is this story of I bought my clothes for the mosque? What is this? This is a plot they made since eternity. She's forcing evil upon me, she and her kids and everybody. And my sister, the other one, the doctor says, not in this life, job, university, or anything. She says, a doctor says, no, nothing for you in this. What is this? And they all go to university, work, travel abroad. Here is a guy saying, this is a French philosopher. They even steal stuff I listen to and watch, and they write articles about it. I swear by God's name, and il day I was writing on trade wars and on poverty and stuff like that, and philosophy, psychology. They did something to the electricity, the mosques and everybody and the neighbors, and they said, kill a laptop, kill a machine, kill the machine, kill a laptop. The electricity died, went off, and then a laptop ruined. If you know the amount of rare books in this and rare research articles, I didn't يعني I have this, what is it called, this, you use it to download the stuff on your laptop if any case, if anything occurs to it. I was using this in every university, in every online courses I was taking. When I am studying in since eternity, all my material, my entire life, and they did something to it. They are criminals, and they said, who said you are going to job or university, or we want you to study ولا pray ولا do anything? Is they are not Muslims, and they are supported by the Americans, Europeans, and the EU. What does they do? What do they know? They know nothing. They just empty. They say about Trump, the president of the empty shelves. They just don't eat ill diseased food we are consuming. They are the managers of the Holocaust camp. They are healthy. They are healthy because it is this is a Holocaust camp. They the places where the food is sold is diseased food, and they have even a keys of your room. They are fit. They are fit. They are in severe haram. They should be dead. They should be dead, and they should be imprisoned. They are healthy. They are healthy because this is a Holocaust camp. We are eating diseased food. Everything is spiked. They have your keys. They are. They have your keys, and they have chemicals they are using. I swear by God's name, they can send you into coma and death. It is like this is sprays that are used by the kidnappers. They can make you unconscious in an instant, send you into a coma and into your own death. This is not a neighborhood. This is not a nation. This is not a place. And everyone says, where did she go? They know they know my brothers and my sisters and my mom and everybody, that they spray in people, and huge black cars and white cars in windows are not seen. Follow me everywhere, and my brothers see, and everybody and sisters. They are threatening me. If you go out, those we know will take you to the places where they are delivering baby after baby, and you will never be seen and heard about, be heard about again in your entire life. And they say even there is a marriage like this awaiting for you, where you will never be seen or heard. I saw people digging graves inside their bedrooms. I swear by God's name, people who digs a grave inside their house and bedroom. Who are you going to kill? They are saying who? They are digging graves inside the houses. He says there are this portrait of South Korea seems to follow the unsurpassed model of such portraits in the last decades. Bold Rauder's famous portrait of Los Angeles in his America as a high a hybrid as a hybrid hell. It is something also in South Korean youth say it about even the South Korean youth say about this. They have a South Korean term, and it is hell on earth. I wrote about it in an article because of this book. Hybrid hell. It is all too easy to dismiss this genre of portraits as the pretentious pseudo intellectual exercise of European postmodernists who use a foreign land or city as a screen into which to project their morbid dystopia. I swear by God's name, morbid dystopia is Chicago, is Ohio, is Detroit. It is the once upon a time. It is this. It is this Chinese are hiding. 1 billion people are missing. It is a dystopia. In spite of all exaggerations, there is a genre of truth in them, or more precisely, to paraphrase Adorno's well-known. I wrote about him in an article. This is a German. He was the friend of Martin Martin Heidegger. He's a German philosopher. He was el professor of Hannah Arendt. He is the Adorno is the friend of Martin Heidegger. El friend, they were friends, and he was a doctorate advisor and a university professor of uh, Hannah Arendt. That is why she was sometimes depicted as a Nazi sympathizer, because the man she was engaged to and she was in love with, he was a philosopher of the Nazi era. And he wrote a book called On Being and On Time. On Being and On Time. Martin Heidegger. And this Adorno, he wrote something on اللي هو do you know الاركتكتشر of European architecture and الانتستاتكس ال how Western civilization, it is like this. Shahid K. Bolson says, are the Africans capable of building something magnificent like a Sistine Chapel, Adorno talks about something like that, about how الويسترنز were pioneers in stuff like that, unlike any other people. Adorno, I wrote about him in one of my articles. Dictum about psychoanalysis. Where is it? Where he says Los Angeles, he says his portrait of Los Angeles, nothing is true except it is nothing is true about Los Angeles except its exaggerations. If you know this book, it is a book unlike any other book. I am afraid of this book because the criminals who did evil to me, I don't know. There is something inside it. All the criminals are carrying this book. I don't know what is it. I went via some chapters, not all the chapters. I'm going to read all the chapters. What is inside this book? Everybody is carrying this book. And it talks about suicide and the elder and youth suicide in Samsung, and how technology ruined South Korea. So they brought this Ezra Klein, and they are saying he's going to deliver, walk us through this and deliver us out of the way, out of whatever criminal enterprises. And as if one day he talks about, is he talking about Mika Brzezinski? She's not a Brzezinski. I am not the daughter of a billionaire family. I am more hard worker than her. I am more knowledgeable than her. And she talks about and says, she is, do you know, there is, ask her, this prostitute named Mika Brzezinski. Ask her, do you know a philosopher named Immanuel Todd? Ask her, do you know Immanuel Todd? He talks about the devaluation of Germany. I don't give a damn about what did Germany do to me. I'm unable to find work, and my mom borrowed a relative of mine. Majority of her, she hates me and insults me and threatens me, and she says fuck you to me, and she says I'm going to kill you. She says I'm going to kill you. A relative. All her brothers, all her family members were murdered in a mysterious manner. She's a criminal, and she says to me I'm going to kill you. And she's appointed by the EU and the Germans. I'm telling everybody on planet Earth. She has a fucking, wherever I go, there is a deqa. And she says, why did you come? I go to a ministry. There is a deqa there. And they say to me, if I kill you, because her brother actually, he killed someone. And then they paid blood money for him. And he was sent to Germany. And he says, one day I was talking to him. He talked with me one time. And he said to me, I told him I was born in Germany. Can you help me in going to Germany? And he said, I talked with my lawyer who helped me in an operation to remove my entire brain. He said, a lawyer said, you will never go to anywhere. My lawyer, my German lawyer said, you will never go to anywhere. He says, they removed my brain in Germany. And she says, day and night I am going to, because she is the beloved of cultists, evil cultists, Jews, Muslims, Christians, local and international security and criminal enterprises. She comes and threatens me day and night. And she's the beloved of the entire family. And my mom and everybody are relatives. All of them are like this in the neighborhood. And she threatens, and she says, there is a woman, she was a sinner. She was a sinner and she did horrendous stuff. She must now wear a big hijab and wear a big niqab. And she must go, she's a sexual, she comes and says this. She must become, she was a sinner. This is the time of her life. She becomes with a big niqab, with a big hijab, and she fornicates in secret, she says to me. And repentance is that she wears big niqab, big hijab, and she fornicates with so many men of this neighborhood, of the mosques, of everywhere, just like Somaliland were saying to me, and day and night she is threatening me, and she is the beloved of gangs and cultists. I hate her. Everybody surrounding her died in a mysterious manner, even hanged. She's the only one remaining. And she says, somebody must repent, wear a big niqab, wear a big hijab, and they are going to fall. What is this? I never did a haram. I never did anything evil. If I do evil, I would have been like her, going, traveling, rich billionaire, well connected, well networked, threatening people, saying you will be kidnapped, you will be hanged, you will be shot, you will be, look, like my entire everybody that knows them and their neighborhood and XNZ. She's talking about this mosque. She is in this neighborhood. They sodomized me. She's saying, who told you to say this? That this occurred to you? She says somebody is going to wear a big hijab, big niqab, and they will be doing, even my doctor's sister, she's saying a toilet and the stuff must be done in the room, and her other sisters and brothers and her mom and everybody, or you will be killed, taken to a place where you will never be heard and seen, all of them. She's a mentally ill creature. She knows criminal women like this neighborhood and males of this neighborhood, and a prostitute from Aida Galek clan. And her name is Qadan Qaran. I am telling everybody on planet Earth. She fornicates this Qadan Qaran. She is on TikTok. She fornicates with little boys. She brings little boys. She sees, I don't know, does she lure a little boys so they are sodomized by everybody? I don't know. What is her job? They say the Ida Galek clan, they do this. She makes parties in her. She is a divorcee, and she was divorced twice. She was married by this fucking clan that does haram to the innocent. She was married by Saad Musa and Bahant. She hosts little boys like this orphan. His even friend, a musician friend of him, his name is Mustafa whatever, Mustafa something. He's a musician. They were in a photo in a governmental ceremony and they are exchanging books. She's dumb as a brick. And they are exchanging books. And she makes parties in her house. Is there a Muslim woman like this? She is naked. Is this allowed even in Islam? You are not supposed to bring inside your house if there is even no male muhram. If there are no, and you naked like this, and you are filming this and posting it everywhere, and little boys, she makes parties for them in the house, little boys, minors, and then she feeds them dinners and parties, and in amid the party, they get up and all the little boys beat her to death. She's a woman in her 50s, a woman in her 50s or 60s, and she says, I am the beloved of the state, of my clan, of lots of clans. I do a job for the state and for the sheikhs and for Telesom and for some cable and for I don't know whatever companies. She brings little boys in the house, cooks for them and makes parties, and later on in I don't know whatever occurs, the little boys get up and they beat her to death. Another day she goes voting, she goes to vote, and everyone beats her to death. She goes to the voting and everyone beats her to death. And she says, my role model is the mama of Somaliland. Adna, I don't like her. I don't like her. Adna Adam, I don't like her. If I worked, I would have amassed money. How did she become a billionaire? She worked for the WHO for more than half a century, and she amassed her pension and the money she collected from the WHO, and being a wife of the former Somali president Mohammed Haji Ibrahim Egal, and the first Somaliland prime minister after the union of the North and the South. She became a billionaire. She collected money from such stuff that I wish I have. This is what I envision for myself, having something like Adna Adam and becoming not in Somaliland, away from them in the West, having a philanthropic entity where I am doing a charity free from all kinds of crimes against you. This is what I envision for myself, doing something in charity and philanthropy, having my own place and helping entire humanity, and doing my podcast and becoming a professor. This is among the stuff I want for myself, and writing my books. I will never. They say writing is a luxury. Writing is a luxury. You don't write in a Holocaust camp. You know, he wrote only one book. Victor Franklin. He was imprisoned in the Holocaust camp. He was a psychiatrist. Victor Franklin. He was a psychiatrist, and he was in the Holocaust camp for 4 years. They murdered his mother, father, sisters, brothers, and he was newly wedded. Victor Franklin. He wrote only what he developed something in psychology and psychiatry called logotherapy. He wrote only one book. It is called Man's Search for Meaning. And he said, I asked everybody in the Holocaust camp, what is keeping you alive? And he says, it is either religion. I came across a British man yesterday. He is talking about this. He has a YouTube channel, and he has, I don't have any subscribers. He has 18 subscribers, and he is talking about il stuff of Viktor Franklin. What is keeping you alive? And he's saying something even Sigmund Freud talked about this instinct and the life instinct. People, he says, Sigmund Freud, he wrote a book called, what is it called? Society, and it is this contents. He wrote something called Society, and it is this contents, Sigmund Freud. And he is talking about death instinct, and he says, look at what is occurring in famine. There is somebody talking about what is his name, this creature, J.D. Vance, and he is saying a nationalistic view is not a Christian, something Christian. Even this is in Islam. This is يعني Allah says to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't be nationalistic, be international. Be international. It is like this. I was even searching and writing about it is something in international relations, from conflict, competition to cooperation. Islam is like this. This Christian guy is saying Trump is not Christian. Like Pope Francis said, you are anti-Christian. And he's saying to J.D. Vance, even the new Pope, he's talking about be family oriented. And they are talking about a good cemeterian. Good cemeterian. He was a stranger. He was an enemy. He was poor. He was badly treated. He was persecuted. But this did not stop him from doing great deeds and something noble. This didn't stop him from being a noble creature. This new Bob, he's from Chicago. This Chicago, it is this nothing real about it, except it is this China. Everything, people went missing. China empty provinces. Where did billions of Chinese citizens go to? Chicago is like this. Detroit is like this. Ohio is like this. Everywhere around planet Earth, many places is like this. Nobody knows. Everybody is missing. There is heinous stuff occurring. And he is criticizing a nationalistic view of Christianity of conservatives. And they are saying, and he is saying they are satanic. He is saying they are satanic. And they are saying this new Bob, Robert Brevoset from Chicago, he is a continuation. There is, and they are saying Trump is going to influence him. He already criticized this J.D. Vance, and the Bob was saying to Trump, you are an anti-Christian because you hate dispossessed, those who are like poor. Because Trump said, I love a rich. He said, I brought the Bestie Davos. I brought the RFK Jr. It is the continuation of the Trump, I love the rich. We should hate the rich because they are responsible of those who are dispossessed, who are poor. It is their problem. The poor are their problem. They are created because of them, because of their amassing of when are you going to spend? And this old guy resigned, Warren Buffett. When are we are waiting for you when you say like Andrew Carnegie, the steel man of America, when he died, he wrote his entire wealth for philanthropy. Are we going to wait for you when you live until hundreds of years, and everyone around you is suffering immensely and dying because of everything, and no food, no clothes, no shoes, no anything, and people are waiting for you to say like this Andrew Carnegie, the man of the billionaire of and trillionaire of steel of America. This guy is saying it is a matter of priorities. He says America can end the world hunger, can solve many crises around the world in an instant. In an instant. And this is not something Christian. You are capable of ending suffering somewhere, of elevating suffering somewhere, of doing great stuff somewhere, but you refrain from it. You say until this is done, like it is done for me. I am held a hostage and they want a ransom of something unethical, something haram. I am deprived of everything. This new Pope, and they named him Leo the 14th, Leo the 14th, and they say he is going to do everything Trump wants, and this is a woke church who said he's going to do everything Trump wants. I don't know, and he is saying in traditional family marriage is between a man and a woman, and he is against adopting kids by same sex, those creatures, LGBTQ community. He is against them, and he took this name. I hate the name Leo. Leo the 14th is because he is a continuation of a great doctrine inside the Catholic Church of leadership, of courage, of having a social responsibility, of being with the dispossessed, with the poor, with the refugees, with those persecuted, with those who were crimes against humanity occurred against them, being with the working class. This is why he took the name of Leo. He took the name of Leo, and they said he was, if of the staffing, if there is any wrong that occurred around planet Earth, it is like they said there is a church in Catholic church in Texas. El Bob fired somebody there, a very renowned Christian priest there in Texas, because he refused to officiate a marriage between LGBTQ community. They say Robert Provostet was responsible of recruitment and staffing of Catholics of the churches around the planet Earth for Pope Francis. He was that guy. So if you were, but they are saying, he is saying Christianity was wronged and it had become woke Christianity. It is harming real teachings of Jesus Christ, and he is going to fight that. I don't know. They are writing that stuff about him. And he wrote, he said, this is anti-Christian. J.D. Vance's, what he is saying in nationalistic view of Christianity, charity begins at home. Charity begins at home. This is anti-Christian. This is not true. And they are talk about a false prophets. J.D. Vance and the Trumps and Mika Brzezinski and Joe and their likes, and even Muslims and Jews and Christians, everyone are fake and the false prophets, because only creatures they care about is their inner circles, and what is it in me, and you want to have this and that. It is like Trump trade war. Until you do this and that for me, America has been wronged and exploited all of this. But I am, I am making like, I am telling you, it is something similar. They are saying for me, until you do this and that will not be occurring against you. And I am still in this lecture of Hal Brandes. He's saying at Duke University, don't you ever trust the likes of Donald Trump. They are all the creatures in their mold. It is my family. It is my family even. My mom comes some days and says a catastrophe will occur, and then she says to me, you are on your own. My siblings come and relatives and everybody, a catastrophe will occur. The Palestinians are suffering, and then they say to me, you are on your own. Hal Brandes is saying this about Trump in his lecture on Ukraine, Russia, and everything on planet Earth. Hal Brandes is saying that at Duke University. The program of grand strategy. Trump will take everything from the hostages and do like the Nazis. He will kill, and like America did in Nick Truss. He's following me. He's following me, Nick Truss, on Twitter. Because of him, I wrote a book. I wrote a book. I wrote a book. He wrote a book on something called America's tomorrow's war. And he says Africa, and he says not China, he says Africa is America's tomorrow's battleground. Eric Prince is saying America should colonize Africa. He has recent talks here and there, and he's saying America must come again too because of the rare earth metals and stuff like that, and it is natural resources and excellency. It must come to Africa and colonize it again after the Europeans and whatever civilizations and nations, and kick out Russia and China out of Africa and go to Africa and colonize it. Eric Prince is making those talks, and he says America is going to colonize Africa. America's tomorrow's battleground is Africa. Because of his blog. He has Tom Dispatch's blog. I used to read his blog. He has a blog. Because of him, I wrote my master's thesis on that. He's saying, Hal Brandes, this is the Muslims. 50 years I am doing great stuff for them, and they commit crimes against humanity, against me, via the Jews and the Christians and other Muslims and excellency. May Allah protect me and rescue me from their crimes against humanity. He says Trump will take everything. Trump doctrine is, and his like is, take everything from the hostages and then do like Nick Truss's book in like the Americans did in Vietnam. Kill everything that is moving. This is the purple color. The purple color is loved by El Orphan. How many times they tried to kill me around him, and he was around me. And it is the color of my sister and the color of my mom. Where is it only in Ramadan? She wears it only in Ramadan. Nobody else wears it. It is called in English and sometimes move. He says, kill everything that is moving. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead around them. Everybody is dead. Hal Brandes says, American and the Muslims and the Jews and the Christian doctrine and the Trump doctrine is take everything from the hostages, and there is no thank you, and then kill them. Every day they are bringing a creature. Everybody of her family died in a mysterious manner.